Welcome back to Artbook Reviews. This week episode 44, and we have a big boy today. We have the art of Hogwarts Legacy. Now, I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan, but I always was fascinated in the world building of the Wizarding World. A lot of potential there. So I was quite happy to get a game set outside the main Harry Potter storyline. It's a flawed but very enjoyable and fairly reasonable game. So I was happy to pick up an art book for this. You can currently pick this up for about 30 quid, $40. I've seen a few places selling it off at a reduced price, so you can pick it up. Relatively good. This is a bit more different to standard art book. I'd call it a detailed concept art book, tier 3. It's more of a world guide, to be fair. This will not explain to you how they came to the idea of designing a character like this. Or we made these changes for this character for that. Here's some sketches. It's not that. It's the finalized digital artwork. Not the painterly kind of concept art of a character. It'll talk about their backstory, who they are, and whatnot, but it won't really go into the design process. So, if you're wanting the design kind of thing, the actual making part, you're not getting much of that. This is more of here's this world and stuff. And a little explanation about we wanted to do this, we wanted to do that. But I'll show you some of it and we can go through a little bit of that and you can make your own decisions on how you feel. For starters, it's a proper solid hard book, and it does fully open up properly. We have like a hinge, shall I say. We have, you can tell, I can get into shot, that might be a good idea. It's material based one here, which means it's very solid, and you can also fully lay it down flat properly without any issues. We first do it, it does sound a bit creaky, like, ooh, am I damaging it? And you're not, don't worry. It's thankfully pretty solid, but it also means that when we get these full page pictures, you can see it 100%. You really appreciate it. As I watched a couple episodes ago, I was criticising the art book for doing quite the opposite of that. So they spent money on the actual making of the book. It's not just pump this out cheap as chips, which is always a good sign. And if you want an art book, you want one on your shelf which looks good and is functionally good. You don't want one with the page that will fall out. Which too often I feel like some of these books would literally do that. Which is a terrible, terrible shame. But a decent craftsman is not easy to find, I guess. Forwarding picture. So full concept there. One thing I found funny, bit of, I guess, about the book, about the game and their role and how they got the job, and surprisingly, no, don't seem to be upset, but well, how to phrase it. They have no problem mentioning J.K. Rowling a few times in this. So if you're terminally online, not the book for you. Otherwise, not a problem. So you get some really nice big. They take advantage of the size of this book, so you get some nice on pictures and even some smaller ones. They've printed it out in high enough quality But you can see all detail. I think that maybe the problem with some of the smaller books is because they're cheaply made, that just splatter them around there with more cheaper ink, more cheaper printing, and it gets lost. But one thing, I guess, also the thing with the Hogwarts Legacy, very good use of colours and lighting, and that's also in the concept art, which really helps, because when it comes in the book form, if it's too dark, you just can't see stuff. And here's a great example, again, of utilising the size. You do lose a little bit on this one because it's an early page. I guess where it is positioned, you do lose ever so slightly, a little bit there, but not too much. And that is a beautiful, beautiful double page spread. More fun, I think. I love that. That's how you do a double page spread. So, talking about the characters' roles in the game and everything. Magic, ancient magic, explaining. This is what I'm saying about how it is more of a world guide, exopedia. Almost, it's a lot of talky about mechanics, about areas and stuff. Interesting to read if you're a big fan of the game. You know, about the setting of the timeline, history. It's quite nice to see, nice to read about. But again, if you're in for more the making of aspects, sadly, you are losing out on that one. But I would still, even going through something partially, I definitely recommend it. Hogwarts. Oof. That eye's giving me the swamp. Professors. Bit of background on each of the professors, which is a nice little touch. I do find it funny how all characters, you know, are the finalized versions. Yet, for Professor Garlic, we have a more earlier stage version, more earlier concept art, which I find quite fascinating. She's probably one of the most popular characters from this game. Or at least that's what it looks like sometimes. So I'm surprised that we don't get a full finished artwork for her compared to the others, which is interesting. Don't know why. It's an interesting choice even. And you even get bits of history about. I found that I read some of these. Some history I didn't know about. I played the game fully, I 100%'d it. I planned it. I even did all the that's part of the plan to do the other house quests. And if you're interested, the Let's Play is on my channel. 60 odd episodes. Give it a little bit of a chance. Maybe watch certain parts if you want. Don't have to if you don't want. A lot of people don't. So smaller characters, but who they are. Very different looking version of the fat lady there. Well, that's what I found fascinating, is showing all different types of the frames in animation. That's such a cool touch of showing it off. Obviously, they're only doing it for a little bit, or else this would be a whole book in its own right. But a nice little demonstration of that is actually quite cool. Ghosts. Let's try to find. Oh, nice little map. You know what? That's one thing this book could have done with, actually, because I think this is the only map in here. They could have done a few of these kind of like old school maps of different parts of the world. That'd be really cool. I would love to see proper old like parchment style looking artwork for the maps. That would be awesome. It would very fit the theme of the timeline. That would be really cool. Get some nice little situation parts of the questline artwork. It's quite nice. We have our Hufflepuff companion, Poppy. who's super against the poachers, but at the same time wants us to kidnap those animals and enslave them so we can get materials from them. But remember, the poachers, that's the real evil guys. That's it. I found so. Then you've got Sebastian, who spent loads of time with, and you could tell obviously that he was the guy that started off with most amount of time the others, because as you can tell, the Ravenclaw guy gets sidelined to other students. Sucks if you like me, who played Ravenclaw. That was their main focus. But it is what it is. Good enemies. A bit of a disappointing final battle that was. Victor. Gobos. Interesting. He hasn't said. That's like a mage goblin, which is interesting. But obviously they can't use magic. I remember that one. Oh, ancient magic kind of thing. I see. Player choices. Yeah. Player choices, of course. I mean, what kind of choices? Is it just about creating your character? Yeah. Creating your character. Oof, yeah. Real hardcore choices there. I mean, I couldn't really do much player story choices. You could tell they wanted to do it and they ran out of time. And that's a shame. A lot of this game is a lot of potential which wasn't finalised. As you played it? Some nice little more scenery stuff, just beautiful. Love the scenery artwork. I do like all the detail here, the history, the descriptions about things. If you're really a big reader, this was definitely one for you. See a bit more of the sculptures. That's quite nice. And the big full-size version, that's really nice. Let's see what else is there. Very nice castle shot. I have to say though, this water effect. But the artist, there we go. Vanessa Palmer. I have to say, Miss, your artwork is beautiful, especially how you've done the water here. Super realistic. So well done. I missed the days when I could do artwork until it damaged my hand. But even if I did continue, I would never be able to do that. That is brilliant. Stained glass, always a bit of stained glass. Could have done with bigger size versions, but I guess the benefit of stained glass is it's quite easy to work out where the details are. We do reference a lot of the books about bits about areas where it links to the areas where they've got ideas from for certain monsters and things based off like lines from the books and whatnot, which is quite good. I love the linking and explanations. It's quite good. So the thick page, that one. That's quite cool. Tapestry stuff. Bit zooming on some of the small details. Nice to see. Room of requirement. Always very nice. House elves. I actually like the fact that house elves all over the place being slaves in the castle. Unlike how the films kind of washed them out a little bit to get away from the fact that, you know what, even the good wizards aren't the most pleasant of people. They're very superioritists. Even if they try to accuse Slytherin of being purely that. Let's try to skip ahead a little bit. Ooh, that's a nice little picture. A lot of bits that just make you go, ooh, that's nice. I mean, it's about moral choices the wanted, in that bit earlier. Should give me a moral choice to decide to just be a bit evil and just shoot that and make it all come crashing down. Because that would be tempting. That would be very tempting. Advertisement bits. Zoom in a bit. It's quite good. Quite nice to see. Some more landscapes. Some more beautiful landscapes. Things there. Traversing the Highlands. Miss Wildsmith. Oh, the most narcissistic, annoying character in the game. How did you know that before I invented my invention, traveling was so much harder? The fact the character was so annoying they had to actually gag her in a patch is hilarious and was greatly appreciated by me and many of us because, my god, as I get annoyed to a point, if you do watch my videos, you get to a certain point where you start seeing me just telling her, yelling shut up at her because I kept getting really annoyed every time I keep passing by. Oh, did you know? Million trials, there was far too many of them. Far too many. Because there wasn't enough. I think there was like loads you didn't have to do to get all the unlocks. We had to do so many. And it just meant that there was no point doing them all other than for the achievement. So annoying. It's nice to get beasts. Some trolls. These creatures which are so weird. Oh my god, that is something out of a horror movie. Oof. That's scarring. I won't want to see that in the dark hour. They'll be using all the dark curses to avoid that one. Some phoenix. Some weird creatures. I actually found that fascinating in the game. That gold snitch is an artificial version of that because it brought them to extinction by just going during every Quidditch match, we're just squeezing one to death. Monsters. Nice to see dragons. Relationship missions. Yeah, definitely could tell there was possibly a bit more to them. I swear there was something. I missed something. I swear there was something I wanted. Ah, the keepers. Bit more information on these. Slight spoiler, I guess. Well, this character was massive. I mean, you didn't have to kill her. That was unnecessary. Using abracadabra. This was so sad, this thing. This character had so much potential to have interesting parts of the story. These guys, you all got the portrait, you could talk to them all. And her portrait has just been vandalised in the last few months or something, so she just can't talk to her and have her piece. It'd been really nice to have her side of the story. Because we're getting their skewed version. It'd be nice to see her. Now they're giving like a nice little balance to like morals and stuff and whatnot. And it's such a missed opportunity. I was quite annoyed. I think I made that quite clear during the playthrough. It's like such a missed opportunity. I think we're getting to the end of that. Yeah, acknowledgements and stuff. So that is that book. Nice beast of a book. How many pages does that actually have? What, 250 roughly? It's 30 quid for a hardback, well done spine and everything. 250 page book. I have to say that's quite a good price for it. It's definitely solid value for money. Even though it's not what I would normally go for in an art book, because it's more than encyclopedia. It doesn't go into the design process that much. It's definitely worth it if you are a fan of the Hogwarts universe or the Wizarding World universe in this game. Definitely worth a purchase. Yeah, I mean, I'm impressed by it. I'm gonna keep on reading more of it. I've only read fragments of this so far, so I've only recently got it. But I'm definitely going to read more of that. Yeah, definitely worth having. So that's my final say on that one. So until next time, goodbye.